Our next presenter is Pamela Blankenship. She's from Paintsville Independent. She teaches at Paintsville Elementary, and the title of her project is Enrich for a Switch, and she teaches kindergarten.
Good morning. I'm going to repeat everything that she said because that's the first 5 minutes of my presentation. My name is Pam Blankenship, and I am a kindergarten teacher. This is my 20th year in education, and I'm at Paintsville Elementary. So there you go, got that repeated. My grant title is I Enrich for a Switch. Now, I know, or in our area, I feel like there's always a big push for what are you doing with your intervention students? How are you going to push those apprentice and novice students up so they are proficient, or if you're proficient, to distinguish? And yes, we even discussed this in kindergarten, even though I'm not a tested person in that accountability index. But we talk about this, and I spend hours with colleagues trying to come up with ways to get our little apprentice kids up to proficiency, or what we would consider grade level. And if it's starting in kindergarten, we really don't want to go through the process of labeling our kids as low at 5, so just because they're not developmentally ready for a particular skill that we're trying to teach. Even though everybody knows Common Core is perfect and it should meet everybody's ability level. I'm sure everybody loves that. Now, my problem is, how am I going to create fun enrichment activities for my intervention students and get them on to a proficiency level? Now, with education and throughout our community, we all know that we should differentiate and meet our students at their level. And I completely agree with that, and I'm sure everybody does that. We have leveled reading groups so that we can work with our kids at the level that they are on. But then you come up with the problem of your little intervention group who always wants to do what your more advanced kids are doing over in the corner because it looks like so much more fun. And it usually is. But you're thinking, okay, I want to send you over there to do that activity that you're not developmentally ready for. And so you have to come up with a way to say, we're not going to do that today, or you have to walk them through the whole process. And I don't know about you all, I don't have the best poker face, and I don't want my 5-year-old to be able to figure out that I'm sitting there thinking, there is no way that you're going to be able to do that activity without something ending up on the ceiling or somebody out in the hallway. And if I feel that way, I sure don't want to make my kids feel that way, because nobody wants to, no one would want to do that to a 5 or 6-year-old and already get them in the process of thinking, she thinks I can't do it, so I probably can't. So what I am trying to do is to make it possible for all of our kids to do these fun enrichment activities that require a higher level of thinking, which isn't always as easy as it sounds. Now, what I have am going to purchase with my grant is an Apple iPad Pro, and I'm going to be using the Osmo gaming system. I don't know how many of you all are familiar with it, but we are going to use the different activities that go along with it to help increase our students' reading and writing skills. The first thing, let me switch my pages, I'm such a great speaker. The first thing that I'm going to purchase with it is the creative set, and it comes with like the little Osmo monster, and it will let them draw and be creative, and it'll actually go into like the character's world as Mo, and they can develop things and come up with stories and tell stories. And then you also have Masterpiece, which is also drawing, but it's a lot of fine motor skills. And this year, we had noticed at open house in the spring that we had some students who are going to be a little bit more challenging. If your administration notices at open house and they're hiring extra aides for kindergarten, something's going on. But we thought that this would help with fine motor skills and keep people out of the referral process. And we're also going to use the coding system that goes along with it. So we're going to be introducing coding commands to kindergarten. So I think that this is going to be fun. And of course, with our more advanced groups, they will be able to do this probably once or twice after we introduce it to them. They'll be able to do it a little bit more independently. But in my other groups, I'll be able to introduce it with them. We might have to do it together for the first few weeks, is what I'm hoping. And then I'll be able to put it into a center type area where they will start to be able to do that. So everybody's going to get a chance to do these activities, but some might just need a little more teacher guidance with that. And the other thing that comes with my grant that I'm going to be purchasing is a foreign language system off of PIM. That's what I found through the research that I have found that is the best program out there for kids under the age of 6. And when we were doing the program reviews, you love Kentucky switching everything up on us, but I always found it was so hard for World of Language. Now, I don't know if your school system hires a foreign language teacher for your elementary grades, but it was kind of up to you to figure out how you were going to teach them foreign language, which is always fun. But so I am going to purchase PIM, and it is going to work with them to teach them how to speak Spanish. And we always in the past during our calendar time, when you're teaching numbers for your lower level students, then I was always teaching it in Spanish to my higher level students. And it's amazing how many of the other kids will always pick up. And I have a student this year who can count further in Spanish than they can in English, which kind of blows your mind. But they can do it. But it's just what they engage in. So if I can get them interacted in that, then hopefully by learning, I think there's over 350 phrases they're going to be able to pick up. It is supposed to, according to the research, improve emotional and social health. It's supposed to also give them a creative advantage, because bilingual kids are more creative problem solvers and have better thinking skills. The cultural advantage is supposed to be that it provides a natural curiosity to explore the world, makes them think that, outside of our little region, there is a big world out there for us to go in and enjoy. And bilingual children are also supposed to have superior reading, writing, and social and cognitive skills. Now, the way that I intend to evaluate this is that I'm going to use my baseline data for my math and reading, and I'm going to track that along with monthly fluency checks. And in addition to this, we have the MAP testing, and I'm going to be able to use my fall and winter data, but we won't have our spring back in time for the presentation. But hopefully this will get everybody on the same page, and I won't have any 5-year-olds with a complex going into first grade thinking I'm not going to be able to do it. Thank you.